Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. I am super excited to be back with you guys here this Friday. What a beautiful morning. I'm telling you, let's bring the energy level all the way to the top because we have an amazing guest today. Yes, we do. And his name is Michael Tomaino. He's an author, he's a web developer, he's a game developer, a web designer. He is many amazing things that you really want to learn more about this guest. And also, he's on the newsfeed of Google. So let's bring Michael to Morning Coffee with Elio right now here. I hope you guys are ready because I am super excited. I am fired up this morning. So let's welcome Michael to Morning Coffee with Elio. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. We are super excited to be here, and to start learning about the story of Michael Tomaino as an author, first of all, because you have an amazing project going on. So talk to me, how was the beginning of Michael Tomaino as an author?
So that's quite a question. So the main reason why I wrote the book was I was taking what worked for me teaching, and I wanted to put it in a book form so that I could hopefully reach kids from all over the world, and not instead of just teaching at one school. So I tried to take what worked for me teaching and put it into book form so that kids could learn how to find their real life superpowers, train their body and their mind, deal with negative emotions, and go out in the world and be a superhero. Which to me, a superhero is a hero is someone who helps people, and a superhero is someone who helps a lot of people.
That is awesome. And just if you are watching right now, I want you to know what we're talking about is about this book. Check it out. How to be a superhero. And how people can find this book, Michael?
So it's on Amazon, and I also have a book trailer. And if you search Google or YouTube for how to be a superhero book trailer, it'll come up. And it's also on my website, superherohill.com.
That is awesome. And that's your website. That's a website that you actually designed especially for the book.
Yes, it needs a little bit of love, but I want to put some resources on there too to for activities that help kids and adults too, learn about how to be a superhero, how to find their real life superpowers. Anything I can do to help people grow, that's the goal for it.
That is amazing. You were just on Google's news feed. How that happened? How that happened? Talk to me about that.
So I'm not actually sure how that exactly happened. One of my neighbors actually found that. She was looking through Google News and saw me in there and sent it to me. But I guess it was an article that was about me from going on the Woe Gainesville podcast. And awesome. they wrote up like my life story on there. Like it was pretty neat.
That is cool. We want to say hello to World Podcast, Colin Austin. Thank you, brother, for helping everybody here in the community. My good friend Colin, and that's super exciting. When I saw your post on Facebook, I was like, yes.
Thank you so much.
Very cool news, man. I am proud of you, and I am super proud of everything that you're doing to not only entertain and educate kids, but also their families. This is a beautiful project that I want people to understand. It's about families coming together, having a good time with their little ones. And it's super cool. I think it's a lot of fun, especially in these days that we have a lot to talk about today. So I really hope that you guys are watching and you are planning to stay right there because we have a lot to talk about with Michael today. So Michael, we were talking that you are not from Gainesville. You are from New York. So when did you move to Gainesville?
I moved in 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then what you were planning to keep your career as an author and basically keep writing and developing the games and your websites?
Well, so the main thing I was trying to do at the time was working with kids. So I've worked with kids for the last like 10 plus years. Um, and so it was actually recently that I decided to write this book. I have actually written a book, like I think it was like 2012 or 2011, but that one was kind of just like a test to see what it would take to get on Amazon. And that book is called The Boy Who Could Fly. And it was I found a book and a movie too. Like, I didn't pick the title very well, but if you search my name, The Boy Who Could Fly, and then you put Michael Tomaino, then it'll pop up.
That is
But it's kind of
fantastic.
hidden in Amazon. Yeah.
That so you can find that book on Amazon.com. The boy the guy who can fly, right?
The boy can fly. Yep, it's on my website too, under books for kids.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Okay, so Michael, right now, I guess for you, it's not really hard to keep working from home because you are used to it, right? You are used to work from home and to have clients all over the world, basically.
Yeah. I mean the like doing like the web design stuff is something that I've done it in the past, but then I went back into teaching. But then since I left teaching and came, went back to working on writing, um, it kind of just like fell in my lap. And so now I've just been doing the website so it can help me, work on more books, and so I can eat and fund more
Yes,
writing adventures
yes,
because eating is good.
that's important.
Yeah,
So
here.
everyone is always saying that making a living as an author and writing books and trying to sell your books or just to publish your books, it is really hard. What can you say about that?
It is incredibly difficult. I think the biggest obstacle is the fear and trying to get it perfect. And so I think the most important thing is just to work on getting something out. Period. And Dan Harmon has a great quote. He's the writer of Rick and Morty, like where he talks about just basically putting all your crap on the table and just molding it into something good and just getting it out there. And so I think that's the most important is just working on getting something out there. Like don't worry about trying to make it like super perfect.
That is amazing. So that would be your advice for somebody that is trying to be like a web designer or a game developer or trying to be an author like you, like writing books or getting involved with lecture in general. But right now, talk to me about game developer. How you also develop? You do like games, but that involve apps as well. I mean, I don't have any idea how that works.
So so when I was in college, I really wanted to be a child psychologist, and I found out, unfortunately, senior year, that I couldn't do it emotionally because one of my classmates was hurting herself, and I realized like I couldn't sleep at night. I was so I thought that was like so terrible that she was you know found it necessary to harm herself. Um, and I knew that if like a kid was doing that, that I wouldn't be able to handle it. So I ended up working at a produce department, and on the side, I started working on making video games. And so my first project ended up doing really, really well, and it won a lot of awards and was in a lot of magazines. But I felt like something was like kind of missing, and even though I got offered some big time money jobs, um, it didn't. I couldn't really like envision myself sitting in a dark room all day, just like working behind a computer. And when I was taking a break one day um, from working on my game stuff, I went over to my parents' house, and the neighbor, my parents' next door neighbor was a kindergartner named Grace, and she wanted to come over and play basketball with me. And so I said, yeah, of course you can come over. And so she was trying to shoot the ball in the hoop, and she was having a lot of trouble making it in the hoop. And I said, like, Grace, like, don't worry about it. Like, just keep trying. Like, you'll get it. And so she finally made it in the hoop, and her body just like, I don't know, it was like pure joy. Like she was like the happiest kid like I had like ever seen. And I knew that I helped facilitate that, and I helped make that happen. And her dad came home like a little bit later, and she ran over and she's like, "Daddy, Daddy, like I made the ball in the hoop." And like I felt that was more rewarding than all the awards, all the magazines, everything else that my video game stuff had accomplished. And so I decided to work with kids. And then when I was working with kids, I started out as a before and after school director for the YMCA, and they were throwing away computers. And so I said, I'll take them. I want the kids to be able to use the computers to create. And so the computers only had Windows Paint on it, and I was like, I can make video games. I'm gonna make something so these kids can make like full stories in 3D. So I started working on some software called Platinum Art Sandbox, and I ended up putting it online just to see if other people would find it interesting, and it ended up really taking off, and it was in hundreds of schools internationally. So it was pretty neat.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
It was pretty interesting for sure.
Yes, that's unbelievable. I found that you're very passionate about helping others, about
Yes.
about encouraging others, about lifting up the spirit of your friends, of your clients, of the kids that you are trying to basically to play with, to share your videos, your books, everything. You're very passionate about that, and I think that's how success looks like to me. So
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
if I ask you, how would you describe success in your career? Because in your case, it's different. You do so many different things that they are so hard to do, like being a game developer, like a web designer, like an author, like writing books. It just how would you describe in your position right now success?
So it's really interesting that you asked me that question, because it's something I think about a lot. And I actually just had this discussion with somebody else yesterday who went through a similar path. Because I used to think, that it was, what most other people seem to think it is, where, making a lot of money, winning a lot of awards, getting your stuff out there like in magazines, like prestige. And I just found all that to be kind of hollow, and even if I made a lot of money, it wouldn't really make me happy, because the stuff that makes me happy doesn't cost money. But what I think is a success is whenever you can make a difference in someone's life, especially if you come across someone whose life is on a negative path and you can help turn it into a positive path. I don't know what could be more important than that, and what could be more meaningful. And that's my definition of success. So even with the book, I realized my thought was that if I could even help improve one person's life, then that book was a success. So that's how I define it.
That's profound,
Yeah.
brother. That's so beautiful, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I am super excited that you're here. And we have an amazing story to share with you guys that you're watching right now. And I can't wait to share with you that's something that happened to Michael recently. But you stay right there, because we are coming back just after this break. This is Morning Coffee with Elio with the great Michael Tomaino. This is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest right now. So we are coming back after this break. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, this is another amazing episode, and we are here with Michael Tomaino. And we are about to share with you a very interesting story that happened to Michael just a couple days ago. And Michael was sharing that with me. And actually, he wanted to share that with you guys as well. So, Michael, do you mind to start your story telling how you actually got to know that your friend was tested, and he came out like positive with the coronavirus and all of that? Can you share that with us, please?
Yeah. So it's quite a story. It's not exactly a short story, but basically both my roommates got tested for corona, and they were positive, and so it kind of put me in a pickle. I didn't know if I was infected, and I did end up going to get tested, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't infect anybody else. And so I had offers to go stay at some people's places, but I didn't want to, potentially infect them. So I ended up just staying in my car. Well, so at first I ended up like trying to like hold myself up in my room and kind of like quarantine myself off from the rest of the house. But being in one room, pretty much one room all day is not good. Is not good for the mind. So I started just hanging out in the back porch, which is where I am now, and sleeping in my car, and until I had my tests taken on a Monday, and just this morning I found out that I'm negative. So that's great.
Wow,
Um,
that.
yeah,
I mean, that's a very, I don't know what to say, like scary, I will say, like very, like, and it's very interesting that you didn't know that they had, the COVID-19, and then now you are happy that actually you came out like, negative. It wasn't positive. So, I was happy when you told me that because,
yeah.
you
Thank you so
text.
much.
Yeah, I was very happy because that's no fun, and I am sure that in the process of being waiting for the results, you probably you were nervous. How, I mean, because when you actually you was talking to me about this, you wasn't feeling well, but and then you went for the test, but now you are negative. So how do you feel? Were you nervous during that time?
Definitely. And I think one of the reasons why I wasn't feeling so well was just being cooped up inside for, a few days at a time. And I think also like the stress of, if I went in the kitchen, am I going to get infected? Like if I miss a spot, like trying to wipe it down, it's just a lot of fear and anxiety for and stress. Am I going to get sick? Am I going to catch it? Um, and so yeah, and so once I started actually sleeping in my car, which was kind of crazy. Like I didn't really think that'd be something I'd be doing, anytime soon. Um, I've actually felt so much better just being outside, and I of course make sure even when I go out to the park, I'm far away from everybody else. Um, but yeah, I think it's so important for our mental health to be outside. That's what I really learned.
Wow, that's amazing. And I would really appreciate you for keep thinking of everybody else. Like you didn't want to get closer to people because you wasn't sure, if you had
Right.
the virus or not. So that's amazing. Just to know that you kept thinking of everybody else when you didn't know even if you had it. But that's just one thing that we wanted to share with everybody because I think it's very interesting. It's a testimony of being, I would say like being brave and what is amazing about that testimony that you wasn't like selfish, right? Like you wasn't about you wasn't thinking only about you. Like, hey, I need a place to stay. I can stay in my car because that's insane. People will be nuts about that, right? And then you say, okay, you know what? I want to stay in my car because I don't want anybody to get infected in case I am. But now, obviously, you are not. But that's amazing. I wanna thank you for that because I don't know how many people, to be honest, they will do that. They will be, oh no, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. You know how people is, right? So
Yeah.
so that's awesome that you did that. But we're very happy that you are okay, and now you feel like more like relaxed about that situation, and hopefully, your roommates they are gonna take care of that, and and stay away from everybody else. So
Yeah.
yes. So hopefully. So right now, going back to your career. So what is next for Michael Tomino as an author?
So what I really wanted to do, and what I started to do before the whole Corona outbreak happened, was I was starting to go to schools and do readings for my book. It was really more talks for my book because every time I've tried to read my book to people, there's only one time that I completed it, and it was with my friends, and it took 4 hours. And it's just because each page has always engaged everyone like so much that it takes me forever to finish it, which is awesome, which is great. Like I love that it's creating discussions with kids and adults alike. And so I really wanted to do more school visits. That's one of the big reasons why I wrote the book in the first place, so that I could go back to schools and teach how I wanted to, and also reach every single school in the district or the U.S. or potentially the world. Versus just teaching at one school. Only being able to influence and impact like one school worth of kids. Um, and so what I want to do now is take what I wanted to do with the school visits and put it into kind of like a YouTube show. So not kind of into a YouTube show. And I'm thinking about using Mr. Rogers as inspiration. And first like talking about like a core value or like a growth concept for maybe about a minute, and then do animated stories pertaining to what I talk about in that first minute.
That is amazing. And it seems like you are looking also to influence, to make an impact in the educational system, right? Um,
Absolutely.
so, talk to me about how, I mean, I know how you are trying to do it, but what is exactly what you're looking for to change? How are you looking to possibilities to make a difference in our educational system? What do you think should we change?
Well, I think the main thing that I'm trying to do, and which was really successful for me teaching, is to inspire kids to create on their own. So when I first started teaching, especially my last stint when I was a media teacher, the first day of class, the kids they didn't want anything to do with me. It was the east side of town, and it's a lot of kids were unfortunately in kind of rough situations, and they didn't really want to be there. And I'm sure that a lot of them didn't really have a lot of support in their life, like from their families. A lot of them didn't really have both parents in their life, or sometimes either parent in their life, and so they were kind of used to the world being completely against them. And so what I did is I asked uh, them. I went around to each kid and I asked them what their superpower was. And so once the kids like realized that they actually had superpowers, that they actually had something that was special about them, like the light bulbs, like their changes in their faces, it was absolutely insane. It was incredible. Like I could see like the light bulbs like going on, like turning on in their heads, and just their faces went from like just like withdrawn, angry, to like happy and excited to share with me their superpowers. And then we I had them write super stories of themselves as superheroes, and so they had a blast doing that. They did animations using Google Slides of themselves as superheroes. They did pictures, and they did websites. And the most exciting thing about all that was that since it was using the Google Suite, I could see when they were working on it, and many, many, many of the kids were working on it outside of school.
Wow.
So that to me was a huge accomplishment. If like they're excited to do schoolwork on their own, I mean I don't think there's like anything really too like more exciting than that. And it was like making a positive change from it. And they created, because at first I was going to do a school magazine, and they ended up creating so many things that there's like the magazine size would have been huge. No one would have been able to download it. And so that's why I had them do websites, so we could do like one master website and then have their websites link off, and then they just had all their work posted on the websites as kind of like a portfolio site. So it was absolutely amazing what they created. And so that's my goal is to hopefully inspire that, start that spark for for every kid and every adult, for everyone. Like anytime like you can light that spark, it's absolutely amazing. What people come up with. Like I have so many stories, so many success stories of that. And just being in someone's corner, just showing them that you care. Like you don't even have to do really any work. Just showing that you want them to succeed. Like it moves mountains. It's been absolutely incredible.
That is awesome, brother. That's awesome. And you are helping these kids to develop discipline, of keep working on themselves. Because here's the
Absolutely.
thing, here's the thing, and I want people to listen to this really quick. In life, it's been said by Les Brown, in life you don't get what you want, you get in life what you are, and you actually helping these kids to become the best version of themselves by developing discipline. Discipline, it is key element in life. It is key to succeed in any field. It doesn't matter. You want to be a pilot, you want to be a musician, you want to be an entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, it takes discipline. It takes, of course, you got to be brave. And but here's the thing, discipline is going to help you, okay, to overcome that fear that is going to be there regardless. It doesn't matter. I mean, fear is part of life. We need to embrace it. But how we do it, how we do that, how we can use our own tools, well, whatever we have within us, whatever we are, to overcome that fear with discipline. And you are doing, I mean, by doing that, you are doing an incredible job. That's a huge message that you need to be disciplined. You need to work on your homework, because if you keep doing that, that's gonna show you everything that you can do in life and everything that you can become if you keep working on your discipline. That is equal to work on yourself. Congratulations, brother. That is awesome, man.
Thank you. I really liked what you said too about helping them become their ideal self, because that was actually a big reason for doing the superhero stories, and why I do the superhero, why I use the superhero concept in general, because it helps the kids and and people in general envision their ideal self. So it helps them like create like how they would want to be, like their how they ideally want to be, and so then they can actually start making moves towards that self. Because once you identify your ideal self, then you start taking steps to actually be there. So yeah, it's perfect. I think you said it great. And with the discipline too, discipline is a lot easier when you're excited about doing what you're doing. So yeah, and once you know you can do it too, and I
Exactly.
think yeah,
And I want to take a little deeper than that. Um,
do it.
the other day, we were talking here with another of my guests, and somebody was making a comment about, Elliot, you should talk about bullying, right? About bullying, about kids just taking advantage of other kids in some way, whatever. Because kids, they sometimes they want to take your stuff, or they want to just make you feel uncomfortable. Here's the thing: what you're doing by showing them and teaching them how to be more disciplined, all right? You are also feeding their confidence. You are helping them
Absolutely.
to be more
Yes.
confident about themselves. And as a result of that, all right, if they are more confident, I am telling you, they are become stronger as an individual, and by the result of that, when somebody comes by, hey, you wanna bully me? It's okay. Go ahead, because I know that I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I am worth it, and I can be a superhero. That's the message.
Absolutely.
That's the
Yes.
message of Michael
You got it.
Tomaino to me. So that's
Yes.
the whole idea. What do you think?
That's exactly what I'm trying to do with it. And also, like, when you realize that you do actually have something special about you, like when you do have superpowers, it does build that self-confidence. And like when you see that you can actually become a superhero, that helps build the confidence too. Like when you see you can actually go out in the world and help people, and it doesn't even have to be difficult. And so that's why I think becoming a superhero, like a huge part of it is dealing with the negative emotions mentally, cultivating your body and your mind, exercise, eating right. Because when you're eating right and exercise too, that's another thing that builds confidence. And because the superhero, I spent a lot of time like trying to figure out like what I wanted to use, like what idea I wanted to use for the kids to try to move towards. And so superhero is really deliberate, because to me a superhero is like, not only do they help people, but they're also warriors, and they're leaders, um, and they're also scholars, because a superhero needs to know what they're doing. If the Hulk starts smashing the wrong walls, that's a problem, right? and they're also creators. Like they're also like they all like create something. You know, Iron Man like created like his suit. Batman created like his gadgets in his suit. You know, Hulk creates like massive muscles. Superman creates the ability to fly for himself and shooting lasers out of his eyes. And so I think creating it is really important.
And I think you are creating, you are helping them to create and to learn about how to be the best version of themselves. And that is
Yes,
huge, man. That is epic. I am very proud of you. I am very
thank you.
proud of all the work that you're doing. I'm very proud of all the people that are supporting you, either
Yeah,
a school, friends, institutions. I mean, if you are watching, you need to know, Michael Tomaino, and actually you need to go to Amazon to support this amazing project, because we need more of this. This is what we need. You know, in life, I think in the world that we're living in, if you look around, I mean, we every day, day in, day out, we are being programmed, right? So what you're doing is you are trying to program the new generation, okay, in a positive way, all right? And I always, I mean, Les Brown said this, and I agree with Les Brown like 150%. Yes, I agree with him when he's saying that if you don't program yourself, you are going to be programmed,
right.
because, right, because
Absolutely.
every single day, we are bombarded with billboards, messages, in a negative way, because
Yeah.
if we can saturate actually our mind, our brain, our soul with positive stuff in a positive way, reading a book, watching a show, watching a good podcast, or just watching a motivational video, or listen to motivational audio. There is so many people out there that they are great, like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, that is one of my heroes, man. And now you are becoming the hero, the superhero of the new generation, by teaching them how to be their own superhero. That's amazing, man. That is amazing.
So I definitely also want to give you a shout out too for all the support that you've given me, because you've given me a ton of support since the first time we talked, and it's been super appreciated.
Man, it is my pleasure. I gotta tell you that I truly believe in the power of giving. Whatever you give without expecting nothing, just that energy comes right back to you. Just the energy, and just the gratification of knowing that you are making it happen for others. I remember when I got to this country, I didn't have, I mean, no English, no money, no nothing, no brand, no nothing, like zero, like zero. And an amazing human being, Mirna Cabrera. I will never forget. Mirna Cabrera was, she's an amazing human, because she's here in Gainesville, but she used to work for Santa Fe College, and she helped me to do something that was very important to me at that moment. I just got here like a few weeks in the United States and in Gainesville, and I said, how can I, thank you. I am so grateful. And she said something that I will never forget. Say, just pass it along. Do something for somebody else, and
Oh man, that's awesome.
and 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 that I will never forget that. And when I help somebody with the same passion that I was helped that day, and that person is like, how can I help you, because you have done so much? Do something for somebody else. Let's try to make this world a better place. And I know it sounds cheesy and it's been said so many times, but it's okay. I want to say it one more time. We can make this world. We can keep working to make this planet, this world, a better place, and you are doing it. You are making a difference. You are making an impact, and you are working every day with your games. Because here's the thing, all right? How many games do we have out there? How many games that they are calling for destruction? They are calling for bullying. They are calling for a kid thinking that they are superior to somebody else, or they can, because they have a gun in their hands, and you have been developing games to program the new generation in a good way. This is huge. I'm telling you, this is a big deal for I think, for not only the new generation, but for this country. And I really hope that sooner than later someone big realized that, like, I don't know, not only to be on the news, but in a big company, a big sponsor, a big supporter. I mean, if I could, I will support you. I mean, like as you deserve, because this is a big deal for this world, for this generation. What you're doing right now.
Thank you so much. And I think it's really interesting, like what you're talking about too, with the well, two things with the giving, and also how there's like the bombardment of negative messages, and um, so I keep coming across from successful people the idea of giving, like they all like keep talking about like how important it is to give versus focusing on making the money. And of course, like you need to make some money because eating is good for you. And but like like they all harp on like the importance of giving. Like it's just like it's really cool how it's just like a recurring theme. And so and also like what you're talking about with I think that's why I think creating is so important, because instead of consuming, you're actually creating. You're actually using your mind instead of like all the stuff like getting sucked in. And related to that, like I was talking about diet in my book. It's also like, so I just talked about nutritional diet, but there really is also, it's important like what you have for your mental diet. Like what are you feeding your brain? And it's like just like what you're talking about, like with a podcast. Like are you feeding it just mindless stuff on a just like mindless like TV shows, or are you like are you filling it with stuff that's going to help you grow and develop?
Exactly, exactly. I totally agree with that. Well, let me tell you guys, this is awesome what we're doing here. We're sharing Michael Tomaino's stories and all the amazing projects that he's been developing, and he is still doing some amazing projects. So you stay right there because we are coming back in just a minute. We want to shout out to our platinum sponsor, the wonderful sponsor family that we have here at Morning Coffee with Elio. And we love promoting them and we love shouting out to them, because without them, none of this wouldn't be possible. So we're gonna go to a quick break. You stay right there because we are coming back. We want to share with you how you can find more out there about Michael Tomaino and all the amazing projects that he's been developing and he is developing for the good of our community, our country, of this world. Here are these are our amazing, amazing sponsor family. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. We are here with Michael Tomaino. Yes, in case you are just tuning in, we've been learning about Michael's projects, that they are amazing. But Michael, you are an author, you are a web designer, a game developer. You do so many things. So if people want to learn more about what you do, how can they find you?
The place that would be best is superherohill.com, because that's where I'm going to be building it out. But also my main site, well, my company site that has links to all my work is at platinumarts.net. Platinum Arts is my company, and yeah, I got a lot of stuff out there, and I like to do marketing too.
Awesome. Can you repeat that again? Because I think you was freezing for a second. Can you repeat that again? Your info.
Absolutely. So the main site that I'm going to be building out, it's kind of bare right now, is superherohill.com. That's where I hope to have a lot of helpful resources and some new game work and lots of neat stuff. That's where I'm going to be posting my show too for my YouTube show, and my main website that has all my links to all my stuff is at platinumarts.net. Platinum Arts is my company.
That is fantastic, and I wanna share with everybody here with our morning coffee community. You just go to Google. You don't have to look further, because right there at the news feed you'll find like Michael Tomaino. Is that right? We are excited about that. Michael Tomino's new book. We're gonna share it once again with everybody out there. How to be a superhero. Yes, how to be a superhero. This is a book that is looking to make an impact in the new generation, looking to make an impact in basically in the mindset, okay, of the new generation of this country, how, and especially in families, because it is very hard when a kid is suffering from being unconfident, or feeling depressed. It is really sad, and families, we suffer that too. I mean, I am at that right now, and I can't imagine going through those tough times. So you are making a big impact by doing this. So we want to thank you for that, Michael, and we
Thank
want to
you.
support you as much as we can. Anytime you can, just call and say, hey, we have this book coming out, we have this event. We're gonna share in our page, our morning coffee page on Facebook, and also if you are watching, let me tell you, you can find Morning Coffee with Elio on Facebook. You can also listen to this show on your car, on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so you can learn more about Michael Tomino. And you can also follow Elio Piedra on Instagram. We are close to 5,000 followers right now. We're developing our YouTube channel. We are trying to do a good job for our morning coffee community out there. And I would like to mention that starting this coming Monday, the fiesta, I am going to be performing online starting at 10 p.m. from Monday to Friday. Yes. So, Michael, if anybody wants to contribute with you, on your books, on your projects, how can they donate to you? You have a Venmo account, PayPal account, through your website. How that works?
Well, for my book, I did actually start a GoFundMe, and a lot of people help support me. So people could contribute to that if they wanted to. But I also welcome feedback. With my book, it was definitely not a me effort. I had a lot of people take a look at the book because I knew that as much as I could ever think that I know, like people are going to know things that I never would have thought of. Like people are going to see things and have perspectives that I never would have ever, seen myself. And so, like together, we can make such a better project and such a better product because the whole point of the product is to help people. And with more people involved, it just makes it so much better. So even constructive criticism, I'm more than welcome. My motto has always been, even with my first game project, that constructive criticism is more valuable than gold because it helps you earn more gold. And so my email is on the website. You're more than welcome to Facebook me, email me, however you like to communicate with me. I'm super open to all ideas and feedback. Um, yeah, I love working with people and to try to make the best resources possible to hopefully improve everyone's life.
That is awesome, brother. That is awesome. Well, thank you very much for making time for us this amazing Friday morning. I really appreciate you for doing that. I am really proud of you, and I encourage everybody that is watching our morning coffee with Elliot community to support you, to go to Amazon.com and buy your books and share your work, the amazing mission that you are developing again for this generation. So, anything else that you would like to add?
I'm so glad that you asked that because there is one way that I would love for people to help me like over everything else, and it's the main message of my book, and that is just simply say hi to everyone that you see. That I think is the biggest possible thing that you could probably do, and just that little bit can make such a huge difference in someone's day. And then they go, like, you make them happy, and then they go to other people happier and make them happy. They go home to their family happy because you said hi to them, and then they make their family happy, and before you know it, you've made so many people, so many more people happy than you could have ever imagined. And just because you said hi,
I totally,
it's
I totally agree with you. I think that's amazing what you are saying, and I think we should look into, stay positive, stay calm, about, stay happy, stay kind these days, because I know there is a lot of frustration, there is a lot going on out there, but we want to be kind to our people. We want to be kind, and we want to let you know that you can follow your dreams, and your dreams are possible. That no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, we are going to make it, and we're going to grow through this. It's not about going through this situation, but how we are growing through this, about adapting ourselves, creating, keep developing our missions, our goals, our projects, and keep trying to make an impact, to make a difference. It doesn't matter. Don't be afraid to fail. All right, if we're going to fail, let's fail big. Let's fail forward, and let's keep moving, with confidence. As we learned at an amazing online conference that we were part of the last week. Michael, once again, I want to thank you for being awesome, man. You are awesome. You are great, and I think you are a blessing for all of us, for this community, for this country. You are a blessing for every single kid and family that grabbed that book and is gonna learn the most amazing message, that is how to be a superhero. So guys, I thank you all for tuning in, for watching today's show, and do not forget to follow Morning Coffee with Elio Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full. We're gonna see you Monday. Thank you very much. Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.